So for example, this is the candle that gave us the buy. So option V, right? Option V. Yeah. So when this candle gave us the buy, I'm going to take off the indicator and then work with that candle. You see this candle that gave us the buy. You see, when you look very carefully from what we learned, normally we say that, okay, fine, if this candle gave us the buy, you see the length of this candle. If you measure the length of this candle from all the way here to the bottom, it's about 42 pips. If you look at the immediate lows, it's about 55 pips. Do you understand? So, for example, if I have my lot size, and I'm going to swap screens to make the calculations. If I have my lot size, if I have my lot size, let's say I want to put 6 based on a 40 pips, this thing, candle, or 40 pips stop loss, you will realize that the pips that I need to make my stop loss, where my stop loss has to go, it's more than 40 pips, right? So if it is more than 40 pips, if you look at it very, very carefully, this is the candle. If it is more than 40 pips, what do I have to do? So let me bring this. So literally, when you look at the structure, this is the low. Because when we'll be somewhere here like this. What we'll see is something like this. Right? We'll see something like this and we think we are going up. So you see this small candle, according to what Eric taught us, this candle, that would have to be the low, or even just under this psychological level. So imagine we are being generous. We say we're coming all the way down to the psychological level and we are going to put on a trade. It will be from the top of that thing to this psychological level. How many pips? If you look, it's 64 pips, right? So if it is 64 pips, it is more than our 40 pips thing that we want to do. So what will we do? That's the question. So when you look at the candle closing, you can see based on psychological levels, you can see that between this psychological level and that psychological level, it's 50 pips already. If you're putting it from the top to the bottom, it's more than 50 pips. So you can see it visually by judging using psychological levels and know that it is more than your 40 pips target. What do you do? The question then is, you see, you have your pips, like in my contest, it will be 6 pips to put on the trade. But I divide my pips into 2. So it will be 3 pips and then 3 pips. If it's only 3 pips that I'm going to put on the trade, you will realize that what then would happen is that it's going to cost me technically half of this my risk per the trade, which is 2,400 per trade. It's going to, if I'm putting only 3 pips instead of 6 pips, it's going to be half of it, which is 1,002, right? And this 1,002, that's the risk if I only go in with just one of my lots. When I've divided one of my lots would be 1,002. So if I go and I see that, listen, this trade looks like it is a trade which I'm risking a lot and I want to go into this thing, I won't put all my lots in instead of putting in the 6 pips, because I would expect possibly if we go in, we are coming back to the tops here. To the tops here, which is about 93 pips. But I'm not thinking based on the profit that I can gain. I'm thinking based on the risk that I'm prepared to put on the trade. So instead of putting on my 6 lots, which is 2 sets of 3 lots, I would only put 1 lot on it. Only one, not 1 lot, 3 lots. This is one of the distinct portions on it. That is 3 lots. And if I'm in 3 lots, it means that even though I'm in this trade and it's about 64 pips, I'm still within the risk threshold. Does it make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still within the risk threshold. So then instead of putting the 2 lots on it, no, just put 1 on it. So even if you lose this trade, you are still within the risk threshold. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Second thing is, imagine that we went into this trade. You see this trade, this buy. So I'm going to just move my thing and put it on it and explain. Okay. Imagine we were in this trade. If you look at the candle carefully, this candle is about just almost like 50 pips, right? And so if it's just almost like 50 pips, you can do the same on it if it doesn't meet your this thing criteria. So for example, let's hide this one. So when we hide this one, this from here to here, you can clearly see. Let me put a trade on it again. Trade. This is about 45 pips. You can judge. It's okay. If 45 pips, it's not too much, or 6 pips difference. You can decide that, okay, you're going in 1 to 2. You see, so 1 to 2 will bring you to the psychological level area. Do you understand? So in this case, you can have a fair judgment that, oh, it's not too much. You can put it on. Or if you think it is too much, you still would just put only one on it. And when you put one on it, you track it, even though you are expecting when you got here, you see, a very bullish candle. And then boom, it takes you to the top. You take your money. So 154 pips. If you have this 154 pips, and let's say you've only put on one portion, let's say my portion, just 3 lots instead of 6 lots. What then happens? What happens is that 150 pips that I had, it is 9K, but the 9K, I won't get all the 9K. Why? Because I only put on half of my lots. What I'm going to get is, and the 9K is about 3%. I'm going to get 1.5%. Just by just being within my risk threshold, I'm still making some points, and you shouldn't regret. And then the problem that we have sometimes is you might think that, oh, I did not put all the lots in and then the trade went. No, don't think of how much you would gain. Think of how much you're ready or prepared to lose. You know what I mean? So then, and then you look at structure. Even if, let's say, you're looking at structure, so you're bringing your stop loss all the way to the bottom here, which is, this is the recent low. It is 70 pips. 70 pips, it can accommodate, because what we are saying is that if in my case, yeah, for example, if when I put 6 lots on it, I'm ready to risk 40 pips. Therefore, if I put 3 lots on it, I'm ready to risk how much? 80 pips before it can come to, you can take me at 2,400. So in that case, imagine that you're even putting your lot size on it based on structure, which means you're looking at the structure and you're putting your lot size on it. Although we normally will look at just the recent lows. Maybe if you see a doji, just bring it next to it, below that doji. And you're putting your lot size on it. Even if you're doing it based on structure rather than this, you then have to reduce your lot size to accommodate about the same risk. That doesn't make sense, guys.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is what I wanted to track. Let me let's go and review just the week. Ooh. All right. So that's 20. Very much. That's 25. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. All right. Let me bring back the indicator. So literally, we would have woken up in the morning. Maybe by the time you got up, this is gone. You might think, oh, Charlie, you missed it for the day. Blah, blah, blah. You get this one thing and you lose it. And then it affects your psychology very badly. Do you understand? And then you might think, oh, there's not going to be anything in the day. But this is 5 minutes. And then I'll show you why I changed to the 15 minutes. Yeah. But then you get this, and then maybe you put just your small lot on it. You know, because this is huge. You put your small lot on it, and then it gives you 50 pips. So 50 pips, technically, if you only put 1 lot on it, it's about 5 pips. It's about 25 pips. So 7 is about, yeah, that's it. And then you get another one here. And then because of the size of the candle, rather than putting all your lot, you put only half on it. It's another almost like 90 pips. You see? So let's say you had 50, almost 150. Do you understand? So if you have 50 and you put your small lot on it, because of the size of the candle, you know that you are still risking within the same risk management threshold. So instead of putting, let's say, double, and Felicius, you use 100K, yeah?
Yeah.
So let's use 100K, and then you see. So instead of putting like 2 lots on it, you only put instead of putting what's it, 2 lots, you only will put 1 lot on it. Do you understand? To load it.
Yeah.
So when you're loading with 1 lot, it therefore means that for 150 that you made in the day, it is technically, it's not 3% because you loaded only 1 portion. It's 1.5 in that day. That doesn't make sense. So it is the risk management should think of what you want to lose rather than what you are potentially going to gain.
Right.
You know, because when you commit yourself into trading, when you put a trade on, there are 2 things which can happen. Either you're losing it or you're gaining it.
Yeah.
The second thing that I want you guys to also understand is that, for example, you're in a trade. Yeah. Let me find a good trade. Okay. For example, you're in this trade. Yeah. You're in this trade. You've dropped down. You've dropped down a little. You drop down. Now this thing comes up. And then it drops down again. And then it drops down slightly. You are thinking that maybe you'll be going further. And then this thing comes up. And then it drops down. It starts giving you rejection. What would you be doing? Immediately, it starts giving me rejection. I know that this trade possibly wouldn't go the distance. So I'm just going to find a way to exit. And I'm going to exit at the top here. I'll find that if this candle retraces, you see this candle came down a bit. When it comes down, or this candle comes down a bit, I'm out. You see, so you should also let the candlesticks tell you what to do in a trade. Because sometimes you could go into a trade and we think that forever, this thing is going to go forever. For example, if we are talking about maybe gaining 1 to 2, so because of that, when we go into a trade, if we are not getting 1 to 2, we are still in the trade. Because if you want to get this 1 to 2 on this trade, the 1 will be somewhere there because we put on the top of this candle, which is about 52 pips. And then 52 pips, which means that we expect to gain about 100 pips. Which one? This one gave us all the same. You know what I mean? But imagine this didn't give us the whole 100 pips, but it's hovering around the psychological level area and blah, blah, blah. It's not going. If you look at the candles and it's rejecting, just close your trading profit. You know what I mean? We need to be that smart because it's better to go home with some profit rather than with nothing. Do you understand? Now, so this is how like the day went. So imagine you made a loss on this trade based on stop losses. So you would have possibly lost over 50 pips on this trade, right? But that 50 pips would be about 25 pips because of the size of the candle. We go in with half of your trade. And then you came and you made maybe some almost like 50 pips on this one. And then you also made another, let's say 100 pips on this one. Meaning that you have 150 pips, but this 150 pips, you went in with half of your lots. Why? Because of the size of the candles that called you. Do you understand? And because of the size of the candles that called you, you then decided that, you know what, you're not going to go in with all your lots to help. So this 150 pips then becomes 75 pips. So you gain 75 pips on this trade, and then you've lost 25 pips on this trade. You are up by what? This thing, 50 pips. And 50 pips, literally, that's actual 50 pips of your whole lot, which converts to 1%. You know what I mean? So you made 1% in that day based on just the spec, right? Now, let's come and I'll show you guys something that happened, and then that made me feel like I needed to scale down. Day 2 on gold. This one was a cool one. It called you, and then when it called you, would have possibly gone into the trade here, and then it started doing this, start doing this, boom, 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 and it drops. You see, look at the size of the candle, which you went in. It's going to be this candle. How many pips is that? It's about 31 pips. Are you within your risk threshold?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can definitely see it by the candle size and by the way we've created this thing, psychological levels. and then it drops. So when it drops, because you can even see that, okay, it drops. Even let's say it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25 minutes, 26, 27, 28 minutes, 30, 35, 40, 45. It took 45 minutes. So it's well within the time. And then it came just here. Even let's say you came here to take your profit. You know, it is the ratio is 2.2, you know what I mean, to 1. And if you're taking your profit here, you've taken full profit and it is at 71 pips. Do you understand? If this thing took you all the way down, and imagine maybe you were lucky enough, let's say lucky enough, and then you came to take your profit here. 196. This 190, let's say 194, well, let's say 190. This 190 profit that you took, yeah, it was taken on your full lot. Does it make sense? Because of your risk threshold. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so you took it on a full lot. Let's say this is another one. When you look at this, clearly you can see that this is almost like 40 pips. How do you know? If this to here is 50 pips, then you can almost see that this is almost like 40 pips. Because if you look at this thing very carefully, let's look at this. Let's put it on it. So let's say it comes this way. See, just like how many pips is that? It's 29 pips, literally. It's not even 40 pips. It's 29 pips, which is within your risk threshold. Now, let me explain something to you guys as well. When I normally see a big, huge candle like this, generally, I want a retracement, generally. But sometimes you don't get the retracement. So when it comes like that, you watch it. If you're not getting the retracement, just jump in it. You know what I mean? And because like you see this huge candle, as it comes up, boom. So you join it on the retracement. So that even, although you might go in with one, based on, because you cannot assume whether you get retracement or not. Just go in with one. If you go in with one, right, that could reduce your risk slightly. So we see from here to the top of that candle is about 45 pips. So imagine you go in with just one from here, rather than making from here down with about 50 pips, you can make a little bit more with your one lot. And it's about 78 pips with your one lot. Divided by 2 is about almost like 40 pips. You know what I mean? So now let's go. Here. So like here, when you are going to this thing, maybe I load it and it's sideways. If it comes and it gives me a bar here, I'll go in. Why? Because if you look here carefully, it's something like a morning star. It gives you, I just go in one. Maybe I drop one here and then I see that, okay, this was a candle that said go in. I put one here. I was expecting maybe a little bit of retracement and then it would have come. And then I load it, only one more. So this one was an entry. This one, it's at a very good place. So if I even have a good place like that, I can even load 3. Why? Because I still would be within risk threshold if my stop loss is, let's say, at the top here. All right. Let me explain to you now. So from here to the top is 29 pips. Okay. So imagine that we are trading and we say our risk is 40 pips. But then we realize that this particular trade, we had 29 pips on it. When we had 29 pips, you see, one that I've changed it to 29 pips. And this thing, you don't have to come and do the calculation. It's just judgment. Because these things are not set in stone. So 29 pips, it gives you 2.7. Do you understand? For the actual trade, if you are entering the trade from the beginning, like from where the candle closed, from where this candle closed, it's 29 pips, which means you have 2.7, almost 3 lots based on 1,000 this thing, based on 100,000 capital. So this 29 pips, you put the first one in it. Yeah. So you put half on it. Now, when you came here, when let's say the candle retraced, and then you put another one in somewhere, let's say there. Yeah. So when you put this thing there, now you have varied entries. This one is about, let's say, 16 pips. or let's say 16 pips, right? So you put half of it, 29 pips. So half of 29 pips is about 15 pips. And then the other half is also half of this, which is technically half of 17, or let's say 18 pips, which is about 9 pips. Do you understand? So half of 29, 15 plus 9, it is about 24. So technically, if one of your loads went here, and then you have another load which went in here, together, it's about 24 or something like that. So you can load another one with a threshold sitting here. So instead of going in like just one and another one here, which is your normal 2 lots that are broken down, you can see that you can go in like 3 times. Doesn't make sense. And if you go in 3 times, you are still within your risk threshold. Why? Because when we go in and we said, okay, this thing is about 29 pips. And this 29 pips, you only went in with only one of the lots, which is, what is it? It should have been 1.3, right? But let's say you went in with 1 lot. Yeah. So with the 1 lot, you're now left with, if you take the 1 lot out of this one, you're now left with 1.75. But the second lot, even the second lot, your stock, this thing was 17 pips. So if it was 17 pips, what then happens is that you realize that you even have four lots, but you've gone in with other risks. So rather than going in with just, let's say, 2 lots, you can go in with 3 lots in that sense. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can go in. So it's a judgment, and you need to master this. This thing comes with time. So rather than going in with 2, so in this case, you realize that you would have gone in with 3 lots, right? So if you had gone in with 3 lots, and let's say the average sits somewhere there, because then you now try and make more money. Why? Because you're not thinking of necessarily what you can make. You're thinking of what you can lose, right? So this is about let's be realistic, 80 pips. So if this is 80 pips and you've gone in with 3 lots, technically what happens is that when you are gone in with normal lots at the time, and your 2 lots would have gained you 3%. Yeah. And then the additional lot, we're looking at 80 pips. It would have made you 1.6%. And then your additional lot would have made you additional 40 pips. So together, you have about 120 pips, which is about 2.4, just on a trade. You see, so if you start thinking about it that way, don't think of what you would gain. Never. Think about what you are ready to lose on a trade. And that is where I'm bringing you guys to mind, because that's what we call risk management. That is about 30% of trading. Strategy is only 10%. So everything we've done to this point, it is only 10%. But then you need strategy before you can even think about risk management. It's like the foundation. If you don't get your foundation right, you're going to struggle. So this was the trade on Tuesday. Yeah. Now, this trade on Tuesday, it played out very beautifully. Like I said, this is another one. If you look at this and you can judge, maybe when I see this kind of, I might think that, oh, this one is a lot. But if I've gone in and I've made money here, I can say, okay, fine. If it looks big to me, I'll put just one trade on it, just one. When I put just one on it, let it ride. And he went and he came and he started doing this. You see, he came back, he started giving me rejections. I'll be out of the trade, maybe at the tiny loss, and I'm gone. You know what I mean? I wouldn't wait for it to come all the way and take my profit. Okay, imagine it came all the way. It didn't even take my profit, and it started giving me back to entry area, back to entry. I'll definitely know that come up, because I wouldn't have waited this long. Now there was another trade. You see, I'll go in again, my 2 lots, because this one is, you can clearly see. I'll go in again with my 2 lots. My 2 lots. I'll be targeting somewhere below here, just there. You know, like 1.5, because these are the lows. You see, I'll target somewhere there, and then boom, I could possibly make my money. If it goes here, then that would be psychological level 3. area. See, you didn't even touch cycle. You just tipped on psychological level 3. But personally, I would just target it because of the recent lows. You know what I mean? Now, look at this. Look at this one. We had another sale here. If you had gone in here, and normally I would say when you've done 3, you shouldn't be looking for more. But you can still go in and take trades. But when you're taking the remaining trades, don't take it with all your lots then. Because at that time you made enough money, yeah? Take it with just one lot, just one. This one told you go in. You see, the reason why I will possibly not go into this is that you see that this were the lows, yeah? So I would not take it until this candle that tells me sell crosses the lows. Do you understand? You tell me sell, I'll just look at it. Maybe if the next candle even crosses, I might chase it. But it didn't cross. You see, it didn't cross the low. And it was very close to the low. If you enter this trade, where would you expect to take profit? Just at the lows. Look at the risk. This is the whole risk. This is the reward. I won't take this. Now it goes back, boom. You see this whole candle. It crosses the lows there. So when it crosses the low, when it is huge like that, look at the size of this candle. It's about 50 pips and over. What do I have to do? I will go in with one part of my lot, not the 2. And then if I should even go in this way, I would expect a retracement because of the size of the candle. So imagine I go in with one of the lots, and then it gives me a full about 25 pips candle. I'll just go in with another one again. So that one, I have deviated a little bit from my risk because here, this will give you about, here, this is about how many pips risk? From the top here, it's about 50 pips risk. So I'll go in with one. One is about 25, right? And then if you come up here, let's say this is the new, you catch the new one here. This is about 31 pips, right? So if you're catching 50 pips, half of it is about 25 because you're putting only one lot on it. And then this one, half of it is about, which is 29, I think. Let's say 30 pips. Half of it is about 15 pips. So 15 plus 25, it's in 40. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that case, what you're doing is one trade would have gone, let's say one trade went in here. The other trade went in there. Do you understand? And you went half on this one and half on this one. You are still within the risk threshold because of the retracement. This will give you a lot more profit. And then when it comes here, where are you targeting? Do you understand? Now, I will show you guys something that I do. I go on the 1 hour. Let me cut this and show you guys what I do. So 135. Okay. Let me cut this. So I'll go on the 1 hour. Sometimes I'll look at the 30 minutes. Let me even cut it further. I love it further before that happens. All right. So let's say I'm on the 30 minutes. When you look at the 30 minutes based on structure, where are we going?
Going down.
See, we're going down. Look at this. We call order block. When I say order block, what it means is that you see this green. The last red candle or the last bearish candle that pushed the things up, we call that candle order block. So I'll look like we are coming possibly to the order block area, right? So in that case, let me just put something there in the meantime. Option 2. In that case, I'll expect that at least when we break from here, we might come down, right? If we break from there, we are coming down to this other order block. You see this one?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we're coming down to this order block. If we break from there, we are coming down to this order block. So now, when I'm in the 5, where would my target be? You understand? That's the question. Like my general target. But apart from the 1 to 2 that we have, if it breaks that 1 to 2 and it keeps going, then it would be, I'll be looking on the either the 30 minutes or let's go to the 1 hour. Or the 1 hour. The 1 hour, this one as printed. But then at that time, we wouldn't have this one, technically. You understand? But this will be my target. If it breaks this, you see, it will come all the way down there. But you would see it when the thing is playing out. You see, so for example, we are now back in the 5 minutes. Let me play this. Let me play this. Bam. So it gives you that up, it gives you that up, up. And then it gives you this red candle that we are going. When I see such a huge red candle, personally, I will wait for a retracement. Why? Because these are the lows. You know what I mean? So it gives me a red candle. Let's say I go in here. That's a half because I know this is huge. It's about 50 pips. This to that is 50 pips. And then you see, it gives me this full candle. I'm in it. Boom. You know, then when I'm in it, where am I targeting? Because of these levels, I will possibly target here first and see what happens. So, boom. You see, this candle breaks that low. When it breaks it, because of the size of the candle, I was like, no, we are going down. So if we are going down, where will be the next level? The next level, you can go back to the either the 30 minutes or the 1 hour. You see, and this is the level that we broke. So 30 minutes or 1 hour. Do you see where we are? No, we're coming all the way here. We're coming all the way somewhere there. But I will take my profit when I feel it's I've had enough profit. You know what I mean? You know, so then this thing gives you the opportunity. Let's play nice candle, nice candle, nice candle. Or I would say I started from here, so I might possibly take my profit here. You know, as I find it fit, I'll take my money and I'll run with it. But if you want to hold it for the long run, what you would then do is now that we've created, you see, we come 1, 2, we've created a retracement. You bring your stop loss into entry here. You know what I mean? Bring your stop loss. So for example, what will happen is that there. We've gone into this is the first trade. So technically you put on 2 trades. Technically. This is the first trade. The first trade is that from the bottom here. The second trade is there, which is, but you've made a half of your thing. Second trade is that one. Yeah. So when it came, the first trade came down here, which is about 1.38, 1.138. You can decide either you take your money, yeah, because it's about 93 pips. Or in the second one, or you can decide you take one off. Or if you think there's still room, you ride it. Do you understand? You ride it. So this 2 is here. If you think, but you need to protect your profit first. Do you understand? Without protecting your profit, you don't write anything. And make sure, how do you protect your profit? You want to make sure that there's been a retracement, clear retracement, and a continuation. The green candle closed. The continuation candle closed. You bring your stop loss just above it, as if to say you are entering a trade on this one. You know what I mean? So the stop loss comes just above that one. And then so that if it comes and it cuts you, it will cut you in profit anyway. But meaning that you are risking all this. You're risking all this for the remaining, which is here. So you would ask yourself, if you want to risk from this line all the way to where it is now, about 79 pips for the remaining here. You know what I mean? For 79 pips for, how we call it? For something like 160 pips. It's up to you. You can decide to take it and then also wait for maybe a retracement and another call and then you join. But it's up to you. But I'm just saying. And then you keep going. And then you see giving you another retracement again. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Next candle comes up further. Next candle comes, you see? So then you'll be panicking now that it was happening. But that time you have taken my money, I'm running away. Now you see it's giving you lots of sideways now. What would you do? So that is where maybe it would have been best when he moved down, because and you can clearly see that we started from the psychological level 3. Let me take 2 out. Let me take 1 out. You see, we started from psychological level 3. So when we broke psychological level 3, we came to a 3, and then we've come to a 3 again. You see, so here, technically, it's my point. I would just take my money and run away. But let's say it gives you that. Take my money, run away, and wait for another call. You see, it's giving you a call. You see, this one was a fake out call. It gave you a call and it went. And then you got another call. You see? So if you got another call, you see this candle is small. Let's see the measurement. And you can almost gauge it that it's not too big. So if we even come in here, on top of the candle it was about 29 pips. On top here it's about 46 pips. So put on the trade again. And you see, but which time, at this time, maybe I'm now thinking that, oh, what time was it then? Yeah. It's 3. Okay. It's still, we're still in play. So you've made money, right? And now maybe in this case, I was okay, let me put just a little bit on it. Because I don't know whether we just come to the bottom here or might go further. Even though on the 1 hour I can see us going. But I just put 1 or 2, something like you don't want to risk very much. If you are still in the mood, put it on it. And then let's trade. And it came. You see what it was doing. So when it starts doing for me, maybe here, start doing this, and I'll take my money. I'm out because of these levels. But generous enough, he came and he gave me this. Even if he's giving me this, that's even better. I'm out. So let's see what they play. You see, rejection. I said, no, I'm out. I'm out already. Before he came again, I'll be out, possibly here or there. You know, so I'll take my money and move. Because with scalping, though you want to make money, you want to make quick money, fast money, and you're gone. So from here, it's 1.8. Yeah. So if you are gone in with proper risk management and taking even every opportunity, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you're taking every opportunity. Because what we're saying is that if it's 5 minutes, 1, 2, 3, you should be thinking that it's exhausted. So if the fourth one comes and you're not feeling, put small on it, let it ride. And this fourth one was even good, but maybe you have half of it. It will just give you what you want, and then you're gone. You see? And this one eventually came to the level. But you see how long it took before it came to the level. Even gave us something small and came to the level. Another sell and came to the level. Now, this is for gold, right? And I'm just going to get this replay off because we've done enough. Maybe in the next 10 minutes, we'll just close. And then we'll just browse quickly and see the opportunities we had. So, and then we'll go on to another one. If someone has a question, though, you can stop me. Okay. And then I'll tell you guys something real quick about the 3 minutes. And I'll let you guys see how it looks in a second. Yeah. So for example, this was this 15th March, far away. Okay, let me cut 15th March. Let me talk about the 3 minutes before we go. So now this is 15th March. Imagine you see this sell. H20. Imagine you missed the sell. Yeah. Where else would you have gotten a sell? Look, all the way there. Which then would have been a fake out. You see what I'm saying? And you might possibly not win. Let's say, let's play candles and see how it played out. You see, sideways sink for a long time. You possibly would have lost the straight or come out in a loss because you cannot wait for this long. But look at what the 3 minutes said on the same thing. You had this, you see that had this, you would have been in the trade here and it comes up and it drops down, right? All the way down. You see, on the 5 minutes, we didn't have any opportunity. The opportunity we had was a loss. But on the 3 minutes, do you see? We've got another opportunity here. And then boom, you be in the trade. And then it takes you down. That is why I moved to the 3 minutes. For example, let me find another day. But the 5 minutes is perfect. I mean, don't get it twisted. There might be days you might not have trades, but that's why we have many pairs. You know, the guy. Why is this thing not moving? It's so slow. Uh, and I'll show you what happened quick yesterday. And the reason why I use gold is gold seems to be the average movement based on the pairs you're trading. So for example, this 3 minutes, you get an opportunity here. If I cut it, I don't think we even had anything on the 5 minutes. So this is the opportunity, yeah. Let me put this thing. And then you see how the 5 minutes looked. I think that was why I moved. Look, 5 minutes. You see, we didn't get anything on the 5 minutes. The whole day, it moved without even getting a call on this thing. So I'm thinking if you are even in 5 minutes, maybe the settings could be tweaked slightly. The setting is 1, isn't it? On the 5 minutes, is it 1 or 1.2? Well, I think we changed it to 1.2, didn't we? Felicius?
Yeah, it's 1.2.
1.2. So maybe on the 5 minutes, you can change the setting to 1. Even 1 did not even give us nothing. See what I mean? So that's where I moved to the 3 minutes, because 3 minutes is likely that you could get something, at least part of the move. This is because you see this clearly, you wouldn't get anything on that day. Now, if you move 3 minutes, at least it gave you an offer here, and you could write it. But that's the only meaning. That's the only reason, nothing else. You know, so like, let's go to another pair, US30 briefly, quickly. Let's browse it. So US30, I know that's Felicia's favorite. Felicia's, you move from oil to US30. I'm trading oil. Yesterday I traded oil. It was very juicy. And the thing I like about this particular strategy is the fact that it calls you. You don't have to look at the charts and blah, blah, blah. When it calls you and you can make a clear judgment, you go and make a trade. It's simple. And I even realized that when there's news, right after the news, there are opportunities that comes. Yesterday, I missed some opportunities. I was gutted, but it was my own thing, and I was learning from it. So this 23rd, browse through quickly. Week 21st. And the thing is, I feel like my challenge at the time was I was afraid to take trades, and I don't know why I was. But now I've solved that thing. I just go in based on the candlestick size as a line. So boom. So something like this. Imagine you are going to a trade on this bar. I would actually use this as my lows. So I was like, oh, this one is too big. I can just go in with 1. You know what I mean? With 1 and then take my money here. You know, if it keeps going, I'll leave it, because you can almost be compensated if you even are going in with just 1 and it comes all the way to, maybe let's say the tops here. Or you look at the left and it comes all the way you to the tops here. It's 150 pips. That's 75 pips if you're going in with 1, only 1 part of your trade, which is so good, because we are targeting about 400 pips to make the 8%. You know, so what is? Let me get distracted. So this Monday on US30. See how huge this candle was. It looks like it's news. So this is how we began. What's Monday? Oh, this is the Monday. Yeah. So look at this one. Yeah, you can clearly see that we started the day with, this is the bottom. We're bottoming up and coming down. He gave you the sell. You look left first. We've been in a huge sell all the way from here. All the way, huge sell. You come in and you woke up Monday morning and it tells you sell. You can see the bottoms here. So you remember, guys, where we used to have that sideways strategy, whereby I was okay, we box it.
Yeah.
So this is the box in it, technically. And now what we have is the moving average. This moving average, right? Though it's printing below the moving average, it still tells us that this is the bottom. Right? So imagine I'd gone into this cell. I'll know that this is the bottom. Look at the what I'm risking for this. Okay, let's say we took it. Let's say we took it. Our stop loss will be here. Between here and here, how many pips is that? It's almost 50 pips. I won't go in with all my lots. I'll go in with half of it. And then it comes and it takes me up. Fine. Gives me this huge one, right? This one is too huge. Maybe I'll test it again. I'll try again with my half lots. And then this one, this time it goes to the bottoms that I was expecting. Let's say it comes to this bottoms. And I make 140 divided by 2. It's about 70 pips. Do you understand? So here, because you went in with half, it's about 25. Also, let's say 30 pips here. And then one something is about 70 pips. So let's say here, 150 pips. It's about 75 pips. So 35 minus 70, it's about 35. You made 35 pips. Now this thing crosses all the way up. And then it calls you again. This is about almost about 40 pips, I believe. Let's do the calculation to the bottom. Yeah, it's 54 pips. Okay. Put half of your trade on it. Don't put everything because we are still managing risk. And it takes us just here, 58 pips. That makes you about 25 pips, isn't it? You know? And then if you have held, well, let's say you didn't hold. This one is clearly will fall within our risk threshold. You see, so if it falls within our risk threshold, we put the double pips on it. We started around psychological level 2 area. It took us straight to psychological level 2. In this case, we won't get all our 2, but we'll get 1. This is about 40 pips. You know what I mean? So then, though we are managing risk properly, we are still taking profits. You know what I mean? Now, how many have we done in this thing? We did 1, 2. So this is the last one technically. Where would we go? Just to the highs, you know? And then this one is a huge one. So you ask yourself, how big is this one roughly? If you're not comfortable, you just put only 1 on it. Just 1 of your lots. Boom. This is about, let's say, roughly 37 pips. So you make about 20 pips from there. You know, here you can decide to go, and then this one will take you out, right? It will take you out, but then it gives you another opportunity here. You're in this trade, it comes, and the problem is, imagine this takes you out. You'll be scared to go into this one, would you? This is the problem. The problem is you'll be scared to go into this one. But I realized that was what was holding me back. The opportunities would come and I would not go. And when it's coming, I need to look on the one eye and see that where is the potential destinations that it could take me. You know, and this, I think this is news, and this 130 news. So before the 130 news, I had this. Clearly, I could go into this because this is not more than 40 pips, I believe. But from here to here, it's about just 41 pips. So I'll go in with my double. Or I'll go in 1 here, it retraces, I'm in it again. So, and then it retraces and it comes as if it wants to take you. But your stop loss would just be below here, right? Below the psychological level. And then from here all the way, it takes you wherever it takes you. 75 pips to 1 something, all the way into here. You know what I mean? A lot of pips. So you can secure profits if you want to trade it that way. But you would only do that if you know where we are going on the 1 hour. As I told you, you look at the 1 hour and look at the order blocks and you look at rejections and stuff like that. And you can either trail it or take your money, which I always recommend. Take your money before the news. You know what I mean? So before news, you wouldn't trade the news. You wouldn't trade anything. And then you see, after the news was commission, we came up and down, all these things. Let's see the 5 minutes, how it looks, whether we got an opportunity there. So 5 minutes. Did we even get anything? This is the normal one. 5 minutes then game. Okay, we got something little on the 5 minutes, but it retraced. So if you had gone in this 5 minutes, I expect that your stop loss will be there all the way, because this one, because of the size of this candle, you should have given us the buy on this candle actually. But this 5 minutes. Let's see 3 minutes. 3 minutes did not even give us. So sometimes you see, one is better than the other, but you can just stick to one or chop and change. And then let's see, did this take us? Yeah, this took us slightly. You see, we had this. So your stop loss literally here. So then in that case, you see how huge this is. This is almost about over 100 pips. Over 100 pips. I think, oh no, about 75 pips. So if it's about 7, let's measure and see. You just put 1 on it. So then you're still within risk. It's about 90 something pips, 94. So if it's about 94, even more, or this thing, then you can decide maybe, listen, I'm not going to trade this. Do you understand? Because of the risk involved. You can decide not to trade it. So all you would have traded based on the 3 minutes or on the 5 minutes, or possibly this is 130. So you possibly wouldn't trade anything. But before then, you've had your trades, you made your money already. Does it make sense, guys? Hello.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Now then it comes back again. It comes respect this moving. And now this moving average, you can choose between the 89 and the 69. It doesn't make any difference. So look at this. Boom. It comes again, gives you, we are going just to the tops where we were from. And then you take your full. In this case, you see, this one possibly will fall within this is the candle. So that will fall, but I recommend that we come here. You know what I mean? Or even if we say, okay, we take it on this one, you know, because we want to tighten our risk, we put the 2 on it. All right. It takes us here. Maybe sometimes I might even come out of the trade here. But this is the top that we expect to go. Boom, 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 boom. It takes it to the top. We make our money, we are out. Now, in this case, we realize that these are the tops, isn't it? So when it calls you closer to the top, I won't go. You know, and at which time it is the afternoon session. The afternoon session started from here. So I'm looking for another 3 opportunities. Oh, the afternoon session literally started from, that's at 12 o'clock. I've got 1 opportunity already here. I didn't take this one. I might possibly have take this one. Yeah, which maybe might come and wick me out. And then I'll take this one. You know what I mean? And then that goes. And possibly I'm finished for the day. What time is it? 5 o'clock. You're done for the rest of the day. You see, so I'm just saying that to say that we shouldn't be afraid of the strategy. This strategy is very, very helpful, especially if you scale it down to the 3 minutes. And when you go to the 3 minutes, it's the same setting. 10, close, 1.2. That's all we're using there. You know, it gives you, you're in a trade. Gives you, look, this one came all the way to 1 a week. So that's why sometimes I try to put it maybe 5 pips away in the end of trade. This one is a huge candle. I'm going with only 1. And then when I'm going only 1, I'm saying here, under it. These skirmishes, it came down here. Maybe, let's say you lose the trade. You know what I mean? But you are, because of the size of the candle, you're still within risk. You're not losing more than you plan to lose. And well, this one is not anything. You know, so this is yesterday. We did some very nice trades. This bam bam went. This one, you see how huge it is. I took a chunk out of this. I just only put one of it, and it went boom, 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 boom. And then I just took it off. That was very quick. I took it off very quick because I didn't expect it even to go past this level. And then it went past here, and I took it off. You know, this one, boom, left. I looked left. I said, okay, fine. If it's going and it's giving me some light too, I just took it off. That kind of thing, you know. And there were other trades coming in, like the German port. The reason why I changed to German port, now let me explain. When I started trading the 3 hours, the 3 minutes, I realized that on MT4, you cannot change a time frame apart from the ones they have there, fixed ones they have there. Do you understand? And so the only thing you can have that flexibility is MT5. So I moved from MT4 to MT5 to trade in MT5. So that is why I moved to MT5 to trade. And in the morning, I made a very, very, very bad mistake. So you see the sell. You see the tops are there. So this buy, I mean, the tops are there. I should have made it close at the tops, like break the tops before I go into trade. But I went into it. And funny enough, I was so stupid. I was moving my stop loss, thinking that it will further go. And it cut me about 3% of my capital. So when that thing happened, I was like, oh, it's news. So let's wait for the news to finish. Rather than maybe following the process physically and then go into trade here and then make this one and then make this one. I was joking around. You know what I mean? And I went into this trade and this trade too didn't go quite well. And so, but the afternoon, when the afternoon came, then I started being serious. I listened, follow the process. And so I recovered from minus almost like minus 10,100 I've recovered almost. I'll show you guys my account. You see, I'm now at minus. You see, I started with 300 and I went all the way to minus 10,100, which is about 98. 289,800. But now I'm back to 297,800.
That's good.
So, yeah, I'm just saying that to say that if you follow the strategy, it works. It really, really works. Especially now that I've scaled down it works like magic. The thing is the boldness to manage your risk properly and then sit in the trade and come out when you need to come out. That is all it. You know, so for example, I did a trade on oil. And I'll show you. Let me show you this. I did a trade on gold first. And that trade, I did it with Boniface. That was a straight. You see, look at what this trade was the one. And then we went in blue and it took us all the way. And then we said we're going to, you see, 2,000. And it got straight to 2,000 and we took our money. You see, and it came and it gave us another opportunity here. But this opportunity did not go. So then I realized that what I'll be doing then is, I'll know if it gives you this, I need to use structure, technically use structure. So if I'm using structure, you realize that this from here to the bottom of the structure, I'm still within the risk threshold, isn't it? It's 34 pips. So I can just go in and then put 2 on it. Or go in, put 1 on it and expect a retracement. If I get a retracement, yeah, I'm fine. I'm still within structure. I'm not going to lose more than I plan to lose. And then it will take you. Do you understand? What happens sometimes is that, let's say I'm in this trade. Yeah. It comes down and it takes me up here. And it comes down and it gives me another buy. Right? I'm in profit. Am I not? I'm in profit on the first one. Am I not?
Yeah.
What I can do with this buy is I have 2 options. Either put 1 more on it or go in as if I'm going to a new trade. Put the 2 on it based on this candlestick and the structure, page 7. So this will be in there in profit. So this you can move the profit. If you can, move the profit into this thing, entry. Or if not, you see, you put in another trade because we are now getting another call. Another trade while this trade was in there. Because this trade, you have to come all the way down to take you out of this thing. This trade, you have to just come the lows to take you out of this thing. And then it moves. When that moves, you can decide that, listen, you take off your first ones, off it, and let this 2 ride. Because I realize that there are times when I'll be in a trade, and then the trade maybe reverses, and then as it goes up, I get another signal in the same direction. You know what I mean? So you can decide to just put 1 on it, or even if you decide to leave it, in that case, leave it, and it could fly further. Or you have 3 options: put your normal 2 on it again, or just put 1 on it, or just leave the previous trade and let it go. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this one, look, we got the buy again on this one. When we got the buy, if you go in with this one, where you expect to come up here. But when you go up, you see rejection. Came even further down. Give you this. Now this will be my new high. I won't bother that we're going there anymore. Gave you rejections, came here, this is my new high. I take my money when I get there. So when you go into this rate, it will be just not as big as you use your mind to take 23 pips. You're fine. You're off. And then it comes and it gives you this one, right? When it gives you this one, where are we looking to go? Here. And then this, it will cut you out. Do you understand? Now, you realize that we've broken down, it's sideways. And when it breaks down and it starts sidewaysing, you're not interested anymore. What an end it is, it gives you sideways, it gives you sell. But you see, now we have those here. When it gives you sideways and it gives you sell, let it give you a sell below. Or give you a sell below this break. You see, this literally, if this was a sell candle, would have been a nice one to go in. Let me see 5 minutes. So, 3 minutes. There. I was talking about this one. Oh God, I'm talking about this. This one, 5 minutes. See, 5 minutes gave us that, which was clean. So you can use anyone, but just that when 5 minutes gave us that, we didn't have any calls whatsoever until the end. So you can use both 5 minutes. It's up to you guys anyway. The one that works for you. See, he gave us here, and I wasn't sure. When he breaks, I'm not even sure. Maybe I won't trade. I'll only trade this one. You see, so this one he gave for a long time was commission. Maybe I would have come out. Now he gave me this one. I'm in this one. Give me this one. I know these are the lows. So possibly if I go into it, I'll just look at the size of kind of what I'm risking. I'll put no bother. You see, so in the afternoon, if you are even sticking to one and you say, okay, boom, it's come all the way here. You're giving you the sell. Imagine you go into the sell, it cuts you out. Giving you another sell. This sell would have gone. Do you understand? This sell definitely would have gone because you've been in the sell. Your stop loss would be at the top. Bam, 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 bam. It gives you this one. This one will sideways. Come down. Give you that. You know what I mean? Hello. Hello, guys. So I think that's that. Any questions, guys? Then I can round. I can close this. Any questions?
No questions from me. I just have to look over the chart and try and visualize it and get in my mind properly for next
You
week.
get your mind. If you don't have the time, then we should also start looking at the other strategies. But it means that it's going to be a whole new learning process again. You have to start to understand that strategy, you know. So as I was saying, I'll send you that link, and then you can start looking at it if that is what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, that's fine. I'll look at this for like next week and see how it goes before I make a decision.
The thing is, so what has been your this thing? Is it just stop losses or what? What's
The
been your
stop
strategy?
losses mainly. I get the direction, but stop losses. They just come and hit me, and then it just goes.
Is it to say that you put your stop loss too close or too far away? Because you were trading German US 30.
Yeah, and you know how US 30 can move sometimes.
Yeah,
so it can come and wick you out before it goes.
It goes. So if that is the case, then look at the lows, the lows. At least give it a reasonable move, but it should still be within. So if this is the call, you see this doji here.
Yeah.
I'll put it another doji, but it should still be within. You see, should still be within. So this is about 45 pips. So you know that if it's 45 pips, then you put just one on it. Or even still, if 45 pips is within range, you put two. It goes a little bit, you take the money. You know, this one is huge, so I'll only put one. And because of these levels, I want a crate. Well, this looks like a clear break. And it will reject and come. But if your loss size is small, you're good. And it gives you another one here. So this in the max. So like literally, this is a good one. You definitely will make money out of this. Takes you just to the top. This roughly a good one. This is also a good one, but it goes hit it, comes back, rejects. I'm running out of here. Because if it says it comes back, rejects, yeah, roughly an entry, I'll just run out here. You know what I mean? So if you wait and this cuts you out, it's fine. It gives you another opportunity, you get it back. You get it back. You get it way more than that. You know, so I think with the risk management thing that I've explained, do you think it can help?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so have a look at it. And then, so you're only trading US 30?
Just US 30, German 30.
German 30. All right, that's
mostly.
Fine. Okay, then. Yeah, that's fine. Now, I mean, I've gone into oil as well. So these are the four that I'm looking at. This German 30 is, and then the reason why I moved to German 40 is because the platform I'm using, they don't have German 30. They don't have German 40.
Yeah.
Now, guys, let me show you guys this thing real quick. We've changed the indicators slightly. What we've done is we used to have the HMA, I would call it HMA 200. That's the yellow line on that one. We've changed it. So now we have this one is either 60, you can choose between 69 or 89. And then we have moving average 30. The moving average 30 tells you what the immediate direction is. You see, when it broke through here, it means that the immediate direction has changed. And then they gave you some kind of buy here. But then when it says the immediate direction has changed, I still will look for sideways. You know, so you can see all this place was sideways. And I'll put another moving average on it. This moving average, it's I believe it is EMA 260, right? 260. And what that does is it gives us general direction, like the bigger direction on the 1 hour. So normally you see here, it's sideways for a long time. When it gave you a buy after sideways, and you see this buy really broke the sideways. If you look at it very, very carefully, you see this buy sideways, and this buy, you see, broke the sideways. Then we are in it. If you want to play it that way, and then you see, then that breaks this EMA, which means the trend already started and gave you this sideways for a long time. It didn't go. So this you will lose the trade, and then boom, it gave you another one in that regard. You see, before it gave you, and then you keep going. You see, so I am going to send this indicator. If one needs help to set it up, please call me, and then we'll do it individually. But PKN, you have it, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's the one you gave me yesterday.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So, Jacob, you wanted a 1-to-1, but we can do it tomorrow evening. I'll be free tomorrow evening. Yeah.
Okay. The other day you told us you would send us the code for this current MC.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Okay.
Boniface has said. What has said. Arizona has said. Malicious, you have it. So Phyllis.
Yeah.
And then Godwin. What do we call this? MKH. The guy. Let me just wireless thing. You guys wait. Let me just make sure you got it right. Oh. Yes. Thank you now. All right, so I think it's done. So we'll just continue. Jacob, when I talk to you tomorrow, I'll set you up if you are having problems. Okay. Okay. Bye bye, guys.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Mr. Michael. God bless you.